Alright guys, welcome back to another Aranea video where we're going to be talking about Aranea, who is going to be our last C90 character to be getting her rework and her brand new FR weapon with the upcoming Aranea Intersecting Worlds event. We're going to go over why I think for her being the last C90, the rework that she got and her FR is actually not too bad. And I feel like for me personally, myself, I feel like I didn't really give Aranea a chance because when it comes to her FR and like what she actually does and whatnot, it's actually not too bad when you really think about it. But there are certain characters that will benefit from her FR ability, which we'll talk about at the end of the video. So let me know down in the comment section below what your plans are going to be, if you're going to be pulling for Aranea's FR or if you're going to be passing up for another upcoming banner. Do let me know in the comment section below. And of course, if you guys enjoy it, don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we're first going to start off with Aranea's rework. So her skill 1 gains 2 uses. It deals 4 HP attacks with 50% Brave increase in between the HP attacks and does not consume ability use. The Plus version deals 5 HP attacks with 50% Brave increase in between the HP attacks. Her skill 2 also gains 2 uses. It deals 2 HP attacks with 50% Brave increase in between the HP attacks. It expands the Vital Crusher debuff to all enemies and extends it to 6 turns. The Plus version deals 3 HP attacks. Now she starts off the quest with her overhead for 6 turns. It now deals 5 AoE HP attacks with 50% Brave increase in between the HP attacks and allows for 150% stolen Max Brave Overflow. The Plus version allows for 200% stolen Max Brave Overflow and everything else that I said previously. Her overhead adds a 30% HP damage up. Now with her C90, her EX deals 4 AoE HP attacks with 20% Brave recovery after each HP attack and also extends her high speed maneuver buff to 6 turns and gets a free ability use on her next turn. The Plus version extends the active overclock buff to 4 turns. Her C65 got extended to 6 turns. It adds a 20% attack up, now totaling 30%, and a 30% Brave damage cap up. Now, with Fang as her partner, Aranea's FR deals 3 AoE HP attacks that deal splits HP damage and inflicts the Vital Crusher debuff to all targets for 6 turns, and grants her the overclock buff for 4 turns. While active, it self-delays enemy on break by an extra turn. When dealing critical Brave damage, it increases the party's HP damage up and HP damage cap up by 50%. Now with her FR, her conditions are as follows. A 40% increase whenever the teammate delays a target, and a 30% increase whenever the teammate deals critical Brave damage. So should you pull for Aranea's FR weapon? Now there's a couple things that I do want to talk about before I say if she's actually worth chasing for. So one of the first things is that she got a solid rework, right? You know, she got the additional HP dumps that she needed. She got the Brave potency increase and whatnot, so on and so forth, right? But the two biggest things that I feel like are pretty important when it comes to this rework is going to be that the Vital Crusher debuff now applies to all targets. Previously, it only applied to the target that you selected. Now, for those who may not know what this debuff does, basically it makes it so that whenever you are attacking a target with this debuff, your Brave damage becomes critical Brave damage, and you also it also has a built-in 50% critical Brave damage resistance. So additional crit damage that you're going to be dealing onto the enemy. The other thing is going to be that with that overclock. So with her overhead, before we jump into the overclock, so her overhead makes it so that whenever she is attacking, she resets the target's break status before the attacks begin, right? But of course that only applies for whenever the target is broken. So with that being said though, the reason why I added this overclock is easier to maintain is because when it comes to her EX ability makes it so that you can actually extend the active overclock buff on Aranea by a certain amount of turns. Now again, her overhead makes it so that you are able to reset the target's break status, right? Which of course, whenever you do that, depending on the skills that you are using, you will be granting yourself the overclock buff. But now that her EX ability makes it so that you can extend it, it does make it a little bit easier to actually maintain, because that way you'll get access to the plus version of her skills and whatnot, which of course will equal like more HP attacks that you're going to be hitting onto the enemy. So I do think those are like the two key things to note about her rework. Now, to be able to reset the target or targets, break status and also delay is something that Aranea has. Again, her overhead is able to help out with that, and then her skill 1 is able to delay said target. Now, when it comes to her FR though, her FR rebreakers are Aranea's best friend while her FR ability is active, because if you have Aranea on the team, that Vital Crusher debuff is going to be active, and one of her conditions is to deal critical brave damage. So that right there is already knocked out very easily. The other one is going to be whenever you are delaying a target, but whenever you are using rebreakers, like let's take example Gabranth, right? If you were to have him on the team with Aranea and you use his skill, so long as you have the number of debuffs and whatnot, and you use the skills that is able to re-break the enemy, guess what? That actually does count towards that FR condition, and since you do have that Vital Crusher debuff active, then you are actually going to meet both conditions, which is why I say rebreakers or breakers in general are going to be Aranea's best friend whenever she has her FR active, you know. And of course there are other characters aside from Gabranth. Gabranth was just an example that I wanted to use. Like you know, you have Arden, Vayne, let's see, Cloud of Darkness, because she is able to break the enemy with LD. You know, there are multiple characters that is able to, or that has like some type of like breaking mechanic within their kit. So like you definitely have some pretty solid options. And again, that Vital Crusher debuff is going to be active pretty much the entire fight, so long as you have Aranea there, you don't let it fall off, and you'll be good to go. So like, you know, when it comes to like percentages, you can easily get like 70% or higher depending on like what skills that you are using. Now the final thing with her FR is that for Aranea herself, whenever she breaks an enemy, she actually delays them by an additional turn. So on top of the break that you hit the enemy with, you are also going to be getting an additional turn delay. So with that being said, Aranea is able to have some pretty strong turn control, especially whenever her FR is active, which I mean in general she does have a pretty good amount of turn control whenever it's not active, but while it is active, like Aranea pretty much like takes control of the field. And remember that whenever she does break the target, she does get a free turn use, which, you know, obviously you can't use it back to back to back, but like she is able to get that free turn use, so that way you are able to you know, either delay the enemy, break the enemy, whatever it is that you are trying to do. And while the FR is active, guess what? You're going to delay them by an additional turn. So she definitely has some strong turn control while her FR is active. And the fact that the party is getting that strong HP damage up and HP damage cap up as well is great as well. That's just higher HP damage that you're going to be getting. So is Aranea, is her FR worth pulling for? Really, it just depends like on the FRs that you got going on right now and the characters that you have currently built. If you have a good amount of breakers, if you feel like you have a good amount of delayers, then I would say Aranea's FR is a pretty solid FR to actually have. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I didn't really give it the time of day, just because, like, you know, Dorgon was around the corner and I was actually more interested in his kit and whatnot. So I really didn't give Aranea a chance, but I do feel like her FR, I do feel like her FR weapon, her FR ability, and what she actually provides and what she does is actually pretty solid in my opinion. So like I would say, if you have, like I said, if you do have a good roster of characters, like, and especially one like the Breaker, the breakers, the rebreakers, you know, so on and so forth, or if you even want to wait for Dorgon, because Dorgon has the ability to break as well, then you know, Aranea's FR is actually not a bad pickup in my opinion. To my knowledge, I don't believe her FR has been reran just yet, so I can only assume that whenever it does get rerun, there is a possibility that she could get FR boards, and those percentages can actually get reworked as well. So I mean, like, it could actually become much stronger later down the line. So but other than that though, guys, I think I pretty much covered everything. I think Aranea's FR is very solid, so if you want to get yourself a good FR to have, hers is definitely worth, in my opinion. So but other than that though, guys, it's gonna be it for the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care. I'll catch you guys in the next one.